Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. My name is Julie. I'm coming to you from Newport Coast, California. My dear friend Milo. Milo, if you could please say hello.
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you, Milo. I'm so excited to sit down and talk with you today, Milo. It is 9 a.m. in Newport Coast, California, and I'm just, you know what? I can't sleep at night. It's because of exciting thing that is happening, and we get to talk to so many people all over the world. And our special guest today in our show is a very exciting leadership council. She puts so much energy in this to building the community, and I'm so excited to have her here. Milo, if you could please introduce our special guest today.
Thank you, Julie. I will. You told a lot of my story there, but that's great, man. We are so excited. It's what a day, and what a day to have her here. We have she's known to everybody in OnPassive. She does so much for the whole community. Let me bring her out now, Marina Favit. Marina, so
Oh,
good to have you on the show today.
Welcome to the show, Marina. So good to have you.
thank you. I always say hello, Africa, hello, world. Great to be here.
All right. Well, Marina, everyone in Home Passive knows you. I mean, you're just known throughout. You do so much for the whole community. But what we want to do again today, this is your second time on the show, and we're so thrilled to have you on the show. But we want to start back again. A little bit of history. Where were you born? How many siblings you have, your parents and your family?
Thank you, Julie and Milo. It's just really fantastic being here. A little bit about myself. I was born in South Africa, in Johannesburg, 52 years ago, September 1968. And my father is originally from Italy, Trieste, in the northern parts of Italy. And he arrived here to start a new life and met my mom, who's South African. I have got three children, three adult children. They are 23, 24, and 34. Don't have any grandkids yet, but we're waiting on that. And I'm living with my partner, Jean, who is a program manager, and we both work from home. And I've got a little puppy, a little Pekingese called Blue. My history, what I've been in is my mom pushed me into hairdressing because she forgot to sign me up for the course I wanted to do at college, which I thought interior decorating would be a great thing. It was just a hip thing at the time. And she forgot to sign me up. She just thought we could rock up and, just get me enrolled. And they were all full. So the only things that were available or courses that were available was hairdressing and secretarial. And I was like, oh, either of them just didn't grab me. And she said, oh, that's lovely, my child. We can open a hairdressing salon for you. And she just decided for me, okay, we're going to put you into hairdressing. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was forced into hairdressing. And it's something that I really I never ever thought about hairdressing because I'm really not one. I was never one to play with anyone's hair or try fancy hair. I can't even do a plait, as a hairdresser. But I got pushed into it. Still waiting for that salon that my mom promised me. So that never happened. But I did eventually go out. I was very good at what I did. I've always been in, to me, great service is good. It has to be, my level of service expectation is very high. So I did very well and eventually had a chain of hairdressing salons, but that all liquidated with my divorce. And then I opened a salon here and a salon there. And my last salon I had was in Cape Town in Somerset West. And it was lovely. It's still going today, but I sold that and I decided, okay, I'm going to put down hairdressing. I'm going to put the comb down and the hairdryer down and get into corporate again. So I kept sort of going back and forth, with hairdressing, working for someone and then leaving and saying, no, this is not for me. So I've had quite a few jobs. And the ones that I really enjoyed was sales and sales management, but I really enjoyed the recruitment. But eventually that also started getting to me where I have grown men crying, saying, help me, I've been retrenched and I can't feed my family. And this, started happening more and more often. And I just felt so like terrible that I couldn't help them, because you couldn't help everybody. And then I thought, no, this is not for me either. But that was very high pressure. Micromanagement, like you cannot believe. You had to clock in at 8 o'clock. If you were 2 minutes late, you would get a warning. But I did very well. I was always in the top 3 performers in any sales business that I did. My first sales job was with Minolta, selling photocopiers. And they always say that that is the most hectic industry to be in and most competitive. But I got my base there at 21 when I left hairdressing and I went into sales for the first time. And yeah, so I did very well with Minolta and traveled the world. That's where I got to see all these places that I visited. And that was very exciting. But that was back in my late 20s, well, in my 20s, up until the age of 27, 28, when I stopped traveling and I had my 2 other kids, because my daughter, I had her at 18. I was a single mom with her. And also, when I got divorced from my first husband, the father of my 2 younger ones, they were both in nappies. They were like toddlers. They were 14 months apart, sorry. So they used to think that they were twins, wherever we went. So it was a struggle. I was pretty much a single parent my whole life. And it comes with its trials and tribulations. And I just kept wanting so much more for them, and I knew I was a dreamer. I knew that I've got the capability. I knew that I had what it took. I just needed the right person to find me or whatever, I don't know. I was waiting for someone to rescue me out of, I needed a roadmap for life, pretty much. And only now in my 50s, like 2 years ago, I discovered my top 5 passions. And that's where I realized this is what I need to do. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew when I discovered what my top 5 passions were, they say, do your why. And I always thought your why was, well, isn't everybody's why financial success, financial freedom? So I thought that was my why, until we broke it down 7 levels. And I realized it starts off, why do you want to be financially? Well, because I want to help be able to be in a position where I can help my family and my children and what have you, leave a legacy. And then it says, why do you want to do that? Why is that important to you? Why? And I was like, oh my gosh, really? And when you really think, I got to the last question, and my why was that I could leave a legacy that my children could be proud of, because I've always felt like I didn't give them enough as a mom, as a single mom especially. And I just felt that they're deserving of so much more. And they've seen me in and out of jobs and never really settled, So I just felt like I owed it to them, but I didn't know how I was going to do this. So I started going on a course, not courses, I was just going on self-development, and I was finding different courses online and just reading and listening and doing whatever it took to get my mindset, because I had very limiting mindset, limiting beliefs. And it sort of opened up this whole new world for me, where I thought, wow, I even started meditating. I'm not very good at it, but it's the first time, in my whole life, when I'm in my 50s now, I started meditating, and I realized, gosh, this really works, And I just, I'm a Christian, and I got saved about 13 years ago, where I gave my life to the Lord. And my life back then was it was a life that I really don't want to ever look back on. But I had to go through all that, And I always say today, if I look at my lifestyle back then, what would your life look like if God never found you, at that point? And if I always say, I would either be in jail or dead today because of the lifestyle I led. And I just say, thank the Lord that He called me, and my life really changed from that moment. I was on a mission, and I just knew that God had a plan for me. And our timing is not God's timing. So yes, if you look back, you think 13 years, really? Like, that's how long you've been waiting for God to answer you? No, it's not at all like that. I've seen, as I look back on my life, how God had me in the palm of His hand, taking me through the peaks and valleys. And it's just been amazing. And, you know, now that I know how to ask, you know, for things, and when you ask and you believe that you're going to receive it, you will. And that's what I did. I asked God for exactly where I am right now, with the business that I'm in, with everything I've done. It's just been grooming me and molding me with all the courses I did, you know, to where I am now. And I just say, thank you, Lord, every day for what's to come. You know, I'm so grateful. And yeah, there's so much more that I can tell you, but that's pretty much my life in a nutshell. My brother
Wow.
is, yeah, sorry, I've got a brother, and he's got 4 children. And he was the one on the last meeting I told you about him with the tree analysis. So he's that sort of interesting character. And I also had a sister, but I lost her to Alzheimer's 6 years ago. So that was very sad. She was one of my mentors, and she was 14 years older than me. And I'd always go to her if I was in a sticky situation, or if I just was confused about anything. My sister, Corinne, would be the one that I would go to. And she was a very successful woman, always driving me to be better, you know, and gave me very good values in life, which I didn't really listen to, because I really didn't like authority. I didn't want anyone to tell me what to do. But I've learned through that. You know, I had to go through those motions in order to appreciate and learn. Because I wasn't really a leader before. I was more a follower, and I was very easily, my arm was very easily twisted before. So I would do things that my inner being would say, don't do it. And yet, oh, okay, fine. My arm's twisted. Let's do that. So yes, I've really developed and worked on myself. And I can see that all those years of whatever I've done is showing, like, I know what's right and I know what's wrong. And my moral compass now is aligned with what I want to do, what I've always wanted, and in line with God's plan for us as well.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Wow. 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 Just sitting here listening to your stories, your life stories, very interesting and very lovely. You're such a lovely lady. And I
Thank you.
know I know that there is something that we cannot stop talking about. It is OnPassive. OnPassive is something that we are excited, and I can see that you are like not sleeping. You do everything like it's never stopped. I just don't have a word to explain how our feelings right now with OnPassive. Tell us a little bit about what is your daily things that you do like. I'm probably gonna give you like, you know, an hour just kind of like talking. What do you do? But tell us in the
No.
short version of
In a
what is
short
your
version.
daily life. Yeah, what is
Okay.
your daily things that you do when you
Routine.
step in on passive? Yes, daily routine.
Okay. Well, I actually don't have a routine as such, because my sleeping patterns are whacked. I think I'm working American time now. So I'll work through the night. Like at the moment, it's now currently as we speak, it's now 7:30 in the evening. But I only woke up at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but I only went to sleep at 8 o'clock this morning. So I got 5 hours sleep in. And what I do is the first, I will check my messages. So be that on WhatsApp, Telegram, Messenger, and then I go to my emails. Once I've done that, but that takes me a few hours because there are so many messages. You know, that pretty much takes up about 2-3 hours sometimes. Sometimes I'll have a lucky day and I don't have that many. But in general, to get through all my messages, respond and what have you, takes me about 2-3 hours a day. And then I get into the back office. I see what's happening on the leadership council. Well, that's the first go-to that I go, you know, see what any updates that I might have missed, because I do have FOMO, the fear of missing out. So I want to see what's happening. I try and go through the community as well. I don't always have time for that, but I do, you know, when I'm lying in bed, and that's generally the time that I'll do that. But sometimes when I'm in the back office, I'll post upcoming webinars under the webinar, upcoming webinars, and on the leadership board. Then I usually have webinars almost every day, sometimes 2 webinars a day, sometimes even 3. You know, it all depends on what I can make. But I'm finding more and more people are wanting me on webinars, and I'm trying to make the time, because obviously I want to help as many people as I can, and I want to accommodate as many people as I can. So I'm managing it a lot better now, because I've started time blocking my time, where I say I can only spend this much time on that and this much time on that. You know, when it comes to the admin side of things, I've never been very good with admin, but I found that I'm doing a good job at it, because I want to see things get done. And as I said before, I'm all about service, you know. So if I can't, my boyfriend always says, I don't know how you can handle it. If I, you know, open up your email and you've got 110 messages, or what is it? He said, I don't know how you do it, but I get through them very quickly. And I make sure that I respond to every single email. So I can't open up my email and see I've got 110 and then close it and carry on with something else. I'm like, oh no, I've got to do this. So what I'll do is I'll leave it open, because I've got a very short time span to focus on something. I'll get up and I'll go make myself a cup of coffee and forget about that, you know. Then I'll start doing the dishes or washing or whatever, you know, and I think, oh my gosh, I forgot to do this, and I get back to it, but I always have whatever I'm busy with open. So yes, I need to work on my sleeping patterns. I can't say that I go to bed at this time and wake up at that time. Every day is different. I do find that I am, at the moment, you know, with me working sort of mostly through the night, then when I get into bed, what I go to sleep with are listening to the videos on YouTube that I've missed out on, because there's just so many, and I fall asleep listening to OnPassive. And then I get upset because I fell asleep during a webinar or a video, and then I got to replay it. So when I wake up, I'll look at this and I think, okay, while I'm lying in bed, I'll listen to what I've missed out. And then I get up, have my shower, and I get to work. So I literally don't get out much. John does all the shopping. You know, I don't even go to the store, which is good, because I don't want to get infected with COVID. And he is so, like, everything, it's like spray, 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 spray. We're always disinfecting everything. So, you know, I'm just, yeah, all the time. And as I said, I don't get much sunlight, and on the weekend I actually did, and it felt so nice, you know, just to go to the pool. But that was another thing where I was saying, I'm sure God was pushing me to get out, because I met a lady that lives in the same complex as us, and she lost her, you know, we just got chatting. She had these 4 cute little kids with her, and I was leaving. I was like, okay, I've had enough with my little doggy, and I said, come Blue, let's go. And as I was leaving, these kids were like, and she said hello, and I said hello, and what have you, and we asked, you know, where are you, which unit are you in, and that, and we got chatting. And she said, no. I said, oh, you got, are these your kids? And she said, no, these are my sisters. Her sister died from COVID, and they buried her on Thursday. And these 4 little kids, all under the age of 8 years old, or from, you know, from 5 to 8, 4 kids that is now left without a mother, and she's helping the dad to take care of them. And I just thought, oh my word, I didn't want to like sound like a salesy person, but before we got into that, I asked her, she actually asked me, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm with OnPassive and I'm the African representative. And she said, well, what is OnPassive? So I told her, and she said, oh, that sounds interesting. And I said, what do you do? And she said, I'm the head of marketing for Vodacom. And it was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, wow. And then I knew, because both the business that John's in, we've been trying to get into this company for, it's something that's got to do with COVID related and taking your temperature and that. So we're wanting to get to the head of marketing for that. And yeah, God like placed her literally on a silver platter to me. We never spoke business. I just said, you know, if you are wanting to help these children for your sister and get them set up for life, because I know that times are tough, you know, there are founding member positions available and you can get it now. You know, if I said, I know that you're grieving your sister, but I just wanted you to think about it. Can I have your number? And she said, yes, with pleasure. This sounds very interesting. She said, just give me a bit of time, you know, a week or two. She's still got a lot to do. I said, no problem. And she said, but send me the information in the meantime. So I sent her a few videos and what have you, so that when she gets a chance, she can watch them. But I know that, because I ask God to place the right people on my path all the time. Sometimes I forget to ask because I'm always thanking him so much for what's happening. And then, I think, okay, it's time to ask again. So I always ask God to just let the right people cross my path, people that need to hear a word from me, and that people who can help and inspire me as well. And it's just amazing how faithful he is, that he always never fails. And so that's just one example where besides just business, I've made a friend. I can relate to her. We're similar ages. And she's also going through a hard time and doesn't know what she's going to do with these kids. And OnPassive is definitely going to be able to set them up so that, she can know that their future is fine, their financial future. They're still so young, they don't even know what's happened yet. They don't understand it. But that's just what's so amazing, that OnPassive is for everybody, no matter who you are. And it just so happened that, this was a person we'd been trying to find, and you always get blocked, trying to get into a door. And there we go. God says, thank you, Marina. You've been a good and faithful servant. There you go.
That's awesome. I mean, and
Mm.
that does happen, so
Yeah.
often. I think that, none of us meet by chance. There's,
Yeah,
a
I
reason
believe
that we
that.
meet, I believe, and that's so awesome, that story that you come across that, and that you shared that with them and stuff. And, and I look at the stuff that you put out there, and I think to myself, oh my God, there's got to be more than one Marina. It's got to be two or three, but I know you work around the clock, but you do such a wonderful job, spreading the good news. And I know that all of us want to thank you for that,
Mm,
for
thank you.
doing that, and it's awesome, but that you share, and the thing about OnPassive, and I know at the beginning, we said don't talk about OnPassive till we bring it up, and it's hard for us, any of us, to not talk about OnPassive immediately because that's what we think about,
Yeah.
But I think OnPassive is changing the world one person at a time, and it started with Ash Mafara, and as we talk to the founders, we hear that all the time, about how people were thinking about how much money we're going to make, and now it's gone to this different level of where not about that, but how am I going to be able to bless someone else? Just like, with you there talking to this young lady, the first thing that comes to your mind is we can help, and we can, and that's a beautiful thing about it. Tell us a little about what you think of that as far as OnPassive and stuff.
It's actually amazing, and that's why Ash Mafara said that he's not doing this on his own. He's definitely got a divine hand over it, over the works, because there's no way that one man on his own could accomplish that without God's blessing, and not just that, the people that Passive is attracting is well, everyone that I've spoken to. I'm yet to come across someone who doesn't want to help someone else,
Right.
So it's that heart. There's a few that's just about money, but it's a small percentage. I think the majority of the founders, I mean, we're over 460,000 founding members. It's just crazy if I look at a video that I did a month ago or 2 months ago, and it's like, we are already on 300,000 and now we're on 460. And I'm like, oh my word, I signed up and there were 40,000. And I thought back then, I'm like left in the dust here. Oh my, it just gets better and better. And like Michael Williams also says, is it doesn't matter how many you've got in your team or when you got in, because if you're in, you're going to win. And when the AI marketing campaigns go to work, gosh, those numbers are just going to multiply, 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 And for somebody who starts with 0 in their team when we launched, like they haven't managed to share this great opportunity with anyone, they will have about 1,000 people in their team after a year and earning about $6,000 to $8,000 a month. That's just like from 0. So that's when I realized that quite a while ago that it's not about the money. We all started about the money. I think you also mentioned that, Judy. When you start, it's because we all like in dire need of financial aid and, just trying to find that one thing that is going to make us the money that we've been looking for. OnPassive is a done deal. That is a done deal. The money is a done deal. We're going to earn whatever our financial goal is. We're going to earn that plus more, and so that's, I think a lot of the founders have realized it's not about the money anymore. Yes, that might have been the reason that you got in. Done for you. Great. That's what I've been looking for. It's just seemed too good to be true. And that's why I've made it a mission to make sure that I did my due diligence, that I don't just listen to naysayers. Who are these people? And, why are they, if they do run OnPassive done, what is their game? And it's usually to get them into their business. So I don't even open those links anymore. I just wanted to put a stop to it and say, I'm not interested. There's always going to be somebody that wants to bring you down, especially when you're trying to do good. So it's all about what are we going to do after, how are we going to spend our money once you've got your dream car and your house and you've paid off your mortgage or whatever, gotten out of debt and you've helped your friends and you've bought them gifts and whatever, because you're going to want to spoil everyone, because it's going to be, for a lot of us, it's going to be the first time that we're in a position to do that. So it's going to be exciting. And then obviously, I already know, like just from our back office, from our wallet, without having to draw the money and worry about it getting, hacked out of your account or stolen, you can then pay for a foundation or a cause from your back office. You can just say, right, I want a percentage to go there and there and there. That's going to be set up in our accounts, because in our wallet, we can have several accounts set up. And we can also pay invoices from there. We can transfer from wallet to wallet. Like I think, Milo, you said it's like our own world bank. I love that,
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to be able to have all these accounts set up, and you'll be able to travel, in style, and you'll be able to go to different places. But the difference now is that you are funded. You are able to, you're not say, oh, but let's, it's like now we're not going to look at the price on the menu. We're going to look at what's on the menu and order whatever you want.
Right.
That's something that I've always wanted to do, but it's because of our poverty mindset. Even when I had money, I would always look at the price.
Right.
But, it's like, and when they got that SQ of like, we'll only tell you once you order it, price is hidden. I want to be able to say, bring it. Don't worry about the price. So yes, that poverty mindset is definitely getting lifted, because our lives are going to change drastically, and we need to gear up. We need to be prepared, because a lot of people won't know how to handle this influx of money that's coming their way. And wherever you go, you'll be able to help someone in need, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And I love it. I love what some of the points that you brought up is that you don't really have to look at the price anymore. Not only that, though, OnPassive will give us the freedom of time. And I wanted to bring this up is because I know you and I are on Facebook. We are ladies. You probably get thousands or hundreds of requests daily. I mean, I have hundreds of requests daily, and some of them even wants to marry me. We don't even know these people, and Ash has been saying, if you have 5,000 friends in your Facebook, do you know how many of them you actually know and connected? And one of the things that he also brought up is that one of OnPassive portfolio gives us, each individual of us, founders or customers or resellers, an identity. We all have our own identity. And if whoever follows us has their own identity, where we actually can confirm that they are real people to be on OnPassive. Absolutely. Not only that, everything that we put in there is positivity and not being censored and not getting crazy. And so give us your thoughts on that, Marina.
I actually can't wait. I just get blown away every time Ash Mufara shows us one of the products or just explains it. I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it like that. It's so much bigger than we imagine. And I don't, just a little bit that my understanding, it is going to be huge. Yeah, I have, talking about Facebook, I've maxed out my friends of 5,000. My profile is open. People can follow me. And the last time I checked, when I don't know how to check now, but that was a few months ago, I had about 6,000 followers. Over and above the 5,000 friends. So anyone can go onto my profile. But yes, I've actually had my own profile hacked where they used my picture, a different name. And I used to run on Facebook in Cape Town. I used to run a very successful singles group to get people connected, but it was, invite your friends and friends and friends. So everybody knew somebody, and that's how it grew. And we used to have get-togethers and gatherings, and it was really nice, because that's why I'll say I'm a people connector. I'm always connecting people, but I've never been able to make money from it. I've always just done it because I just love people, But now doing what I love and connecting people to this opportunity and meeting everyone, that's why I created the Facebook group as well. And my Facebook group has hit over 5,000 members. I checked 2 days, well, a few days ago. And that's awesome because it's founders and their guests from all over the world. And, there's a few people that you connect with and you just form relationships with, which is great. I don't have all the time in the world to, sit and chat all the time. And I hope that people don't take me as being rude or what have you, because I really don't, and that's why I've also got my Telegram group so that people can get the updates and what have you that I would personally give to my team. I've got a WhatsApp group for my team. But so yes, I just love making sure that everyone gets the information that they need. And as far as on Facebook goes, I can see it in the future, in the not so far distant future, it's going to dwindle away. I'm not saying we're going to close them down, but as OnPassive gets recognized by the founders and by new customers and realize what it's offering, because I've been just today, actually, the PR manager from OnPassive, Hyderabad, asked me to help with a few numbers and contacts for, publications, because we're really going out now. We're going to be advertising on TV in the greatest stock publications, Forbes magazine, Prime Media, Media 24, all these, so we're getting that in place. And obviously Ash Mufara is being interviewed as well. So we're seeing a lot more articles coming out, here and there. And this is before launch. I mean, people are still scared. It's like, I'm sure a lot of media as well is like, okay, when you launch, then we'll know about it. But right now, people are still skeptical. Is this actually going to happen? Is it going to take off? But I can tell you, we'll probably, when we get to our official launch, we're probably going to be around 1 million. I'm sure of it, because we're already close to 500,000. We haven't even gone into soft launch. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even 2 million, because in our soft launch, we're going to be testing the marketing campaigns and getting more founders. Obviously it's going to be a little bit more, but so yeah, this is just at the moment, it's just word of mouth. People like you and I sharing this opportunity. You don't have to be a marketer, and yet it's so easy for me. It's depending on who you're speaking to, I guess. But for me, it's just been one of those things that I'm so passionate about, that it's when people see my passion and they see how much I believe in this, then they want to be part of that. People are attracted to positivity. They're attracted to people who do good, and someone who can motivate them and what have you. So yes, you might not be that motivated, but you don't need to be. There's people like our leadership council, people like, well, you guys that do it for us, do the work for us. I've often sent your videos out because I was in real estate. So I had a list of real estate agents and I sent your video out to them. I got a bit of response. A few people have said, I'll look into it, but once again, people have been burnt and they're just so scared of getting into something. But it's, I'm not worried about that. As long as I've shared the information, they're all going to be in OnPassive one way or another. But as long as you've done your bit and just, shared as much as you can. So I cannot wait for, I don't even know, there's Oh My Life, there's what is going to be a, I can't say similar to, but the likes of
Create. There's Create.
now, I'm getting confused. Is Create the website builder?
Website builder. And
yes,
stuff.
yeah.
That's gonna be. There's so many.
All
good
my life, all my life, I remember Ash had said, I was on the beach listening to what he said, and I don't know if I can say it out loud here, but all my life is like a Wikipedia of yourself.
Yes, I see. I don't even understand how that works, but it just shows you like a Wikipedia of yourself. Like, what does that even mean? Like, how's this all going to be put together? Because as you said, we only know 10% of what OnPassive is going to be doing. And to have something like Facebook, I mean, we all love Facebook. It's been great, and we've connected with family that we haven't, and friends that we haven't seen in years. You know, I love that side of Facebook. But now they've got so many rules. Sorry, Julie, I keep interrupting you. They've got so many rules. So if you want to post something, they just like get rid of it, and they say, sorry, it's against this, that, but it's like, so what are you allowed to post? I didn't think there was anything wrong with what I just said here, or this link, or what have you. So yes, we're going to have that freedom to post what we really want to, and our profile is never going to be hacked. Sorry, I was saying that my profile got hacked, but thank goodness, because I had such a large following and people knew me who was also on the scammers group. That, you know, we identifying scammers. So they picked up that this person called me a scammer, but it wasn't my name. It was just my picture. And some Anna and this woman claimed to be deaf or mute as well. And they said, no, that's Marina Favit. We know her, and that's definitely not her profile. And thank goodness enough people reported it, and that person's profile got shut down. So yes, something like that will never be able to happen with OnPassive, because we're all going to be vetted. We're going to feel it's a safe haven for us. You know, finally, we're going to have this complete system where every aspect of your life or your business is going to be taken care of, and you can go to bed at night knowing that you are safe and secure, and you've got everything that you could ever need in life, in business and in your personal life, covered.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a game changer. I mean, there's so many things that is so cool. We could talk about it all day long. You know, just OnPassive is so huge. Unfortunately, I think we're running out of time, but I do want to, I do want to thank you for taking the time, Marina, and come and sharing your thoughts with us. It means so much to us, you know. You do. You know, we love what you're doing. We watch what you're doing, and we appreciate you. But I think it's about that time. Julie, why don't we wrap it up? I think, you know, so that we can get her done here.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Marina. You are such a leader in our OnPassive family. With your love, your passion. Really appreciate you making a time to sit here and have a heart-to-heart conversation with us. I think today was just about our connecting our hearts together and sharing what our passion is. Yes, if you're listening to this video and you haven't been in OnPassive, get back with the person who invited you here, who shared this message with you here, because once you take the action and being in OnPassive, this is the smiles that you have, this is the excitement that you will have. We all understand that there are so many people in this world right now are facing a hardship, but you know what? If you are in OnPassive, there's hopes that define, dreams that are defining in OnPassive. So join us, get back with the person who shared this video with you. And if you are in OnPassive and you haven't plugged in, now is the time for you to take the action, log into your back office, listen to a few webinars and connecting the dots. And the same thing for you. If you do that, you have the smiles that Milo, Marina, and hundreds of thousands of us are having, smiles and a hope. Light is there. You can define your dreams and having the time that you want, that you deserve in your life. So thank you so much for joining the Julie and Milo show. Especially today, we have a heart-to-heart conversations. We would love for you to be part of the show. Reach out to one of us and let us know that you want to be in our show, and join our Facebook group, OnPassive with the Heart. Thank you so much for watching. Good night from Newport Coast, California.
Good night from South Africa.
Good night from Nashville.